What if I told you that you're not really the one driving your life? What if the choices you make every day, what you eat, the career you pursue, the people you love, aren't being made by your conscious rational mind? It sounds bizarre, maybe even uncomfortable, but neuroscience suggests that up to 95% of your life is actually controlled by a part of your mind you don't even know is there. Imagine your mind is a self-driving car. You think you're holding the wheel, but under the surface there's a hidden autopilot, quietly steering, running on ancient software you never consciously installed. This software isn't malicious. In fact, it's trying to protect you. It was written long ago, through childhood experiences, emotional traumas, inherited beliefs, and cultural conditioning. It's efficient, it's fast, but it's also outdated. And yet, this very system determines how you respond to stress, who you trust, what you think you deserve, and even how much joy or success you allow yourself to feel. Welcome to the Conscious You channel, where we go beneath the surface of your everyday life into the realms of the subconscious, the spiritual, and the truly transformative. Today, we're diving into a powerful truth. Most of your life is being lived unconsciously, and the journey to reclaim it starts with awareness. You see, the subconscious isn't just a storage room for old memories. It's an operating system, quietly running the show behind every action you take. It doesn't speak in language. It speaks in symbols, sensations, emotions, and patterns. Ever find yourself repeating the same kind of relationship drama over and over again? Or sabotaging opportunities just when things start going well? That's not a coincidence. That's programming. But here's the good news. You can reprogram it. Just as your subconscious mind was shaped by repetition, emotion, and experience, it can be reshaped the same way through conscious practice, healing, and inner work. The first step is to pause and ask yourself, what beliefs are silently guiding my decisions? What emotional patterns keep showing up in my life? And most importantly, whose destination am I heading toward? Mine or someone else's? When you begin to uncover these hidden scripts, something incredible happens. You start to wake up. You stop reacting from survival and begin creating from intention. You become the conscious author of your life, not just a passenger. So if you're ready to explore the depths of your mind, to understand how your subconscious is shaping your reality, and to learn how to consciously take back the wheel, then stay with us. This is the Conscious You, and this is just the beginning. The psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud once said the mind is like an iceberg. Only a small portion, your conscious mind, is visible above the water. That's the part you're using right now to process these words, make a grocery list, plan your week. It's the goal setter, the rational thinker, the part that says, I should go to the gym, or I want to save money. It believes it's in charge, but it's not. Beneath the surface lies something much bigger and far more powerful. The other 95% of your mental life exists below your awareness. That's your subconscious mind, the massive unseen structure below the waves. Imagine this part of your mind as a sprawling, shadowy library in the basement of your being. In it, every experience you've ever had, every sound, smell, touch, sight, and emotion has been recorded. Even those you don't remember, especially those you don't remember. It stores your fears, your automatic behaviors, your emotional triggers, and your core beliefs. But here's the twist. It doesn't analyze or judge any of it. It simply stores and repeats. Let's say you were laughed at when you tried to sing as a child. Your subconscious might store that memory as a program. Don't sing. It's not safe to be heard. And even decades later, you might feel sudden anxiety at the thought of speaking up in public without ever knowing why. This is how the subconscious works. It's brilliant, but it's not smart in the way we think. It doesn't ask, is this belief helpful? It asks, is this familiar? Familiar equals safe in the world of the subconscious, even if that familiar belief is sabotaging your health, your happiness, or your dreams. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever set a big goal, started strong, then slowly drifted back into old habits? Have you ever dated different people but somehow ended up in the same emotional relationship again and again? Have you tried to think positively but found yourself reacting from fear, anger, or doubt without knowing where it came from? That's not laziness. That's not a lack of willpower. That's your subconscious programming at work. Remember, the subconscious is like a computer. It doesn't think for itself. It runs whatever software it was given. And that software? It was written largely in your first 7 years of life. That's right. By the time you were just a small child, your subconscious mind had already absorbed the bulk of its programming. Not just through what people said to you, but through what you felt, sensed, and witnessed. Did you feel safe or anxious? Did you feel seen or ignored? Were you encouraged to be curious or shamed for being too loud? These early emotional patterns became internal rules, and they now run silently beneath every decision you make. So while your conscious mind is trying to move you forward, setting intentions, writing affirmations, chasing dreams, your subconscious may still be dragging the anchor of old invisible beliefs like, I'm not good enough. Success isn't for people like me. Love always ends in pain. It's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and the other foot pressing firmly on the brake. It's exhausting. It's confusing. And worst of all, it feels normal. This creates a kind of internal war, a tug of war between your conscious desires and your subconscious programming. And the subconscious almost always wins, because it operates faster, deeper, and more consistently than your conscious thoughts. Psychologists estimate that the subconscious mind processes around 11 million bits of information per second, while the conscious mind handles only about 40 bits per second. Think about that. Which part of your mind is really making the decisions? The truth is, your subconscious is the unseen captain of your ship. You may believe you're steering with your conscious hands, but unless you've reprogrammed your internal map, the ship will always return to the coordinates it was set to long ago. So what does this mean for your life? It means that no matter how much you want change on the surface, no matter how many self-help books you read or motivational videos you watch, real transformation won't last unless it reaches the subconscious level. Because if your subconscious is still holding on to old trauma, fear, shame, or scarcity, then it will pull you back again and again to the reality that matches those beliefs. This is why so many people feel stuck, why change feels hard, why your life may feel like it's on repeat despite your best efforts. But here's the empowering truth. Once you become aware of the iceberg, once you realize that an unseen captain is steering the ship, you can start to take back the wheel. Not by fighting the subconscious, but by understanding it, by communicating with it, and ultimately, by rewriting the script from the inside out. So what does this inner conflict look like in real life? This isn't just abstract theory. It's the frustrating, often painful reality behind some of your most confusing behaviors. The things you say you want versus what actually keeps happening, over and over again. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever set a New Year's resolution, maybe to get fit, meditate daily, or finally start that business? You were fired up, motivated, ready to change. But by February, it was like the goal had just dissolved. That's not laziness. That's not lack of discipline. That's your conscious mind trying to sail toward a new island, while your subconscious quietly drops the anchor, whispering things like, "Change is dangerous. You'll fail like last time. Who do you think you are to succeed?" And suddenly, the wind disappears from your sails. Here's another common example. You get a golden opportunity, a chance to ask for a raise, to speak up in a meeting, to launch that idea you've been dreaming of. But when the moment comes, you freeze. Your heart races. Your mouth dries up. You feel paralyzed. A wave of anxiety crashes in, and the moment slips away. This isn't weakness. It's your subconscious hitting the panic button, triggering an old fear of rejection, of humiliation, of not being good enough that was wired into you long before you had the tools to understand it. This is the very engine of self-sabotage. It's when one part of you says, "I want this," but another part, quieter, older, and far more powerful, says, "No, you don't. That's not safe." And because your subconscious controls your emotional and physiological responses, it wins. Every single time. Let's go deeper. Have you ever told yourself, "I want a healthy relationship," yet you keep finding yourself drawn to emotionally unavailable partners? Or said, "I want to be financially stable," but you keep overspending, under-earning, or avoiding your bills? You're not broken. You're not lazy, and you're certainly not alone. These patterns aren't personal flaws. They are the symptoms of a divided mind. When your conscious and subconscious are in conflict, your life begins to reflect it. Through confusion, frustration, and the constant feeling of being stuck in a loop. You can feel it physically, too. That deep tension in your chest. That tightness in your gut when you're faced with a choice. That nagging inner voice that says, "You can't, you shouldn't, it won't work." And sometimes the conflict shows up in your emotions, but not in ways that seem logical. A tiny comment from a friend sends you spiraling into insecurity. A small mistake at work floods you with shame. A late reply from someone you care about triggers panic or anger. These reactions feel out of proportion, but they're not about the present moment. They're about old wounds, emotional landmines buried deep in your subconscious. It's like walking through a peaceful field, and suddenly, boom, someone unknowingly steps on a part of you that still remembers pain, fear, or abandonment. And unless you've brought awareness to these wounds, they'll keep exploding. So let's pause here for a moment. Can you see how so many of the challenges you face, the procrastination, the self-doubt, the fear of being seen, the perfectionism, the need to control or please everyone, aren't really you? They're not signs of weakness or failure. They're simply echoes from old programming, old stories that were never questioned, just repeated. Imagine your subconscious mind as an old radio playing background music. You didn't choose the station, but the same songs keep playing. Songs about fear, shame, not being enough, or needing to prove your worth. You go about your day trying to concentrate, trying to succeed, trying to feel okay. But this old soundtrack keeps whispering in your ear, and eventually it drowns out everything else. When your subconscious is running on outdated software, life starts to feel like a rigged game. You do the mindset work. You try gratitude journaling, vision boards, affirmations, and for a while they help. But if the core beliefs underneath haven't changed, the results won't stick. Because your inner world still says, "I'm not safe. I'm not enough. I don't belong." And those beliefs create your emotional tone, which shapes your choices, which defines your reality. That's the true cost of a divided mind. You feel like a passenger in your own life. Like no matter how hard you try, something always pulls you back to where you started. But once you see this clearly, Once you recognize these patterns not as personal failings, but as old inherited programs, you begin to reclaim your power. You stop blaming yourself, and you start getting curious. You stop chasing surface-level change, and you start looking deeper. Because only when you understand why your subconscious is resisting change can you begin the process of reprogramming it. And that is what we're going to explore next. The good news is this: you are not doomed to be controlled by your hidden programming. Yes, your subconscious may be a powerful supercomputer, but here's the empowering truth. You are the programmer. You can learn to uninstall the outdated self-sabotaging code and install new beliefs, new emotions, new habits, ones that actually serve you. Reprogramming your subconscious is the key to closing the gap between the life you have and the life you truly want. So how do you do it? Let's walk through 3 powerful steps to start seizing the wheel of your mind. Step 1. Awareness. Turn on the lights. You can't change a program you don't know is running. So the very first step is simple, but transformational. Awareness. Imagine walking into a dark room where you keep tripping over the same furniture again and again. Once you flip on the light, everything changes. You see clearly. You move with purpose. That's what awareness does to your inner world. A great way to develop this awareness is through daily journaling, but not just writing your thoughts. You're becoming a detective. Ask yourself, what triggered me today? When did I feel anxious, rejected, or angry? What thought popped into my head in that moment? Did I procrastinate? Why? What was I afraid might happen if I took action? You might discover that your fear of public speaking isn't really about speaking. It's about the belief, if I'm seen, I'll be judged. Or that your resistance to starting a business isn't about risk, but a hidden script that says, I'm not capable. The moment you write it down, it loses some of its power. You drag that subconscious pattern into the light of your conscious awareness, and that's when you stop being a puppet of your programming and start becoming the observer. And that simple shift changes everything. Step 2. Reprogramming. Give your subconscious new directions. Once you can see the old program, you can begin to rewrite it. 2 of the most effective subconscious tools are affirmations and visualization. Let's talk about affirmations first. These aren't just feel-good quotes you say in the mirror. They're powerful commands, written in the language your subconscious understands. Repetition, emotion, present tense. Instead of saying, I hope I'll feel confident one day, you declare, I am confident, I am capable, I am ready. Say it with feeling. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you go to bed. Say it when the old voices try to creep back in. And don't just say it, feel it. Let the words sink into your body. Because that emotion, that's what embeds the new program. Now, combine that with visualization. Here's the secret. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a real experience and an imagined one, as long as it's vivid and emotional. So if you close your eyes and mentally rehearse success, you're actually creating a new memory for your mind to follow. See yourself walking into the meeting with calm confidence. Feel the joy of launching your project. Hear the applause. Smell the air. Let every sense come alive. Athletes use this. Top performers use this. And now, so can you. You are building a new neural pathway. And the more you walk it, through affirmation and visualization, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, the new software replaces the old. Step 3. Integration. Tame the wild horse. Now, here's something most people miss. This is not a war against your subconscious. You're not here to defeat it. You're here to integrate it. Think of your subconscious like a wild horse. It's powerful. It's fast. It's been running without direction for years. You don't want to break it. You want to earn its trust. This part of your mind, your fear, your resistance, even your self-sabotage, it's not your enemy. It's trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. Your procrastination might be your subconscious saying, if we succeed, we'll be seen, and being seen might be dangerous. Your fear of love might be a leftover belief that says, if I get too close, I'll be abandoned like before. So instead of forcing yourself through resistance, get curious. Ask, what is this fear trying to protect me from? What outdated belief is behind this reaction? What does this part of me need in order to feel safe? When you stop fighting your inner world and start listening to it, you create harmony. You stop being divided, and you start becoming whole. That's where true self-mastery begins. The goal is not to have a perfect mind. The goal is to have an aligned one. A mind where the conscious and subconscious are no longer pulling in opposite directions, but working together toward a common purpose. This is how you seize the wheel of your life, with awareness, with intention, with deep, compassionate integration. You were never meant to stay on autopilot. You were born to steer your own ship, with clarity, with courage, and with consciousness. So here you are, at the edge of a new understanding. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're simply waking up to the truth. Most of your life has been driven by patterns you never consciously chose. But now, you have a choice. You've seen how the subconscious operates silently beneath the surface, shaped by early experiences, old beliefs, and outdated fears. You've seen how it pulls the strings behind your habits, your relationships, your reactions. And more importantly, you've seen how to change it. Through awareness, you can uncover the programs running your life. Through affirmations and visualization, you can speak the language of the subconscious and begin to rewire it. Through compassionate integration, you stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. The conflict between what you want and what you do, that can end. Because now, your conscious and subconscious minds can finally move in the same direction. This isn't about fixing something that's broken. It's about becoming whole. It's about remembering that you are the programmer, not the program. You are the captain, not the autopilot. And when you step into that role with clarity and intention, your entire life can change. Because the power has always been yours. So if you're ready to take back the wheel, if you're ready to break the loop and start consciously creating your future, now is the time. Subscribe to The Conscious You for more weekly content on reprogramming the mind, healing the self, and awakening your spirit. Like this video if it resonated with you, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a moment of your awakening. This is your journey. This is your mind. This is your moment. Welcome to The Conscious You.